Please pause the video. Only a small percentage of you subscribe to my channel. Subscribing to my channel really helps me out. And while you're at it, smash that like button. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another kit review. This time, as you can tell, this is Fleet Admiral's ball. And this was produced by GKUS out of Sunrise, Florida, sculpted by Jim Maddox, and the master print and prep by Ed Bradley. Now, this is not an STL file available for purchase. You actually have to purchase the kit directly from Garage Kits US. I'll put a link down in the description below. The photos here of the built and painted figure are by Anya, and this was first featured at Wonderfest here in 2024, and it just caught my eye. Being an avid Star Trek fan, I knew I had to get this figure. Now, I would have really liked to seen a figure of Lucy with the original series uniform on, as this depicts the Next Generation series. But of course, it does come from a well-known in the Star Trek realm art rendition of Lucy sitting as the Fleet Admiral in the command chair. First things first, Star Trek as we know would have not existed without Lucille Ball. On November 9th, 1962, she purchased Desi Arnaz's stock interest in Desilu Productions, and with 52% of the company's stock, became the majority owner of the studio. With her ex-husband's departure, Ball also became the company's president. She was still in that position when Gene Roddenberry made the deal to develop pilots for Desilu in the spring of 1964, including a science fiction format he called Star Trek. To get a sense of just how many different versions of these events have been told over the years, all you have to do is research online for articles about how Lucille Ball saved Star Trek. Now, I'm not going to get any more into this because there's a lot here, and it's just kind of fun for yourself to research this yourself. But I firmly believe that Lucille Ball did save Star Trek, contrary to what a lot of other people say. As a true Star Trek fan, I honestly believe this. And as you can see, here's the kit all spread out. It is 3D printed. This is 1/6 scale. It is also available in a 1/4 scale and 1/8 scale. There's also a commemorative badge, a Lucille Ball Fleet Admiral's badge that you can order separately. I have that on order and it's on its way. The right side of the screen gives us all the parts for the figure herself. And then of course the left side is the seat. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at this kit. And there it is, the stand, which with that separate badge mounted to this would really set this off very nicely. Of course, these parts will need a little bit of cleanup and prep, and if you wanted, you could fill the holes with some UV resin and a black light. I show you how to do that in one of my videos previously. I'll put a link down below to that video where I show you how to use the UV resin to fill the holes here. The back side of the seat, and just a little concerning to me with this print is you want to have venting of the print on both sides of the print, and in this case they only vented this part on the bottom. There's no ventilation or openings on the top here. I'm going to go ahead and do some exploring and drill a couple of holes up here to see if there's any wet resin caught inside. You definitely don't want wet resin in your kits, because over the long term it could cause the kit to crack. So I'm going to do that and I'll let you know how that turned out. Same thing with the bottom of the chair. Of course, there's a nice cutout here for Lucy to sit on, and they only vented the bottom here. Okay, now I'm sure they washed it, and same thing, I'm going to go ahead and drill some holes to find out if there's any wet resin inside there, because typically you want to have venting on both ends of these parts. It does feel a little heavy too, so I don't know how hollow this is. Usually it's hollowed all the way through, and we'll just find that out when I do drill it. I did notice that when I received this, there was some wet resin here on this part here, and you can see it's going to need some sanding. But there you go. And here are the armrests, one for each side, and that's obviously solid print there. Right here it should be hollow, it's vented, very small holes, so same thing, I'm going to go ahead and drill to make sure there's no resin trapped inside here, because it can be detrimental, like I was saying. And here's the headrest for the chair. Alright, let's go ahead and look at Lucy herself. Here are the legs. And that's good there. We have a vent here and a vent there, so I'm pretty confident we're fine with that. Same thing, looks good. Her pants. And I'll build her up and show you what she looks like built up. Her shoes. Right, very the next generation-ish type of shoe. So these look to be solid printed. And you can see there is a little bit of wet resin on this. I'll need to clean off with some alcohol. Here's her arms. Looks good there. Just vented on one side. This side, you could really drill a hole right there and just make sure there's no trapped resin inside here. Again, and I hate to harp on that, so I'm not going to talk any more about it, but you can see there is some wet resin coming out. I don't fault that of these folks. Only my experience with this is from a 3D printer who's been doing this a long time. He's the original OG of this stuff. He started doing this right in the very beginning, and he's learned a lot in the process, and that would be Mike over at NY3D Creations. But I'm not faulting this manufacturer at all, because I think this is great that we're getting this kit, and it's not a problem to drill these and drain them out, shoot a UV light in there as much as possible. And I just don't want any residual resin, wet resin, which this has. So these will have to be investigated. And the hands, very nice there. Fingernails, great detail here. That's what's so nice about these 3D prints. They have a lot of detail to them. And the bottom side of the torso, where her legs attach. Very nice there. Just a little bit of cleanup required here. So this has been properly vented off. Very nice. Upper torso. Of course, the next generation Fleet Admiral uniform here. Very nice. It feels like it should for a part this size, being hollow, properly vented all the way around here. Looks good. Give you a close-up of the badge, and that's what's coming separately, a bigger version of this. Very nice there. And you can see it depicts Lucy in the middle of the badge. And lastly, here is Lucy. Very nice sculpt. Very little cleanup here. Probably a good idea to drill a hole up top there, hidden away where you're really not going to see it, probably in there, just to make sure there's no trapped resin up in the head. Very nice. Lock in on her face there. Extreme close up there. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll go ahead and build up the kit and we'll give you an overall view of what it looks like built up temporarily. Here's the chair by itself assembled. Very cool. Very nice there. Very good. And here she is in the seat. Of course, the fit is very good with everything here. I just have everything tacked temporarily together. And you can see things will start to fall apart here if I'm not careful, like her arm. But that's what she looks like. Legs folded. Very nice. There you go. Just a quick update, I did go ahead and drill out those parts to see if there's any resin remnants, and I put the hole right here on the other end, on the bottom, different areas just to see, because the holes that were put in were just on this end and I put them on this side. You can see I still have some alcohol coming out. I did get a little bit of resin remnants. It did cloud up the alcohol that I used to wash this with, so just be aware of that. Same thing with this one here. They were only vented right here, and I drilled here and here just to get a sampling of what would come out. And like I said, there is remnants of resin. You don't want to have that. I'm told that they did do a cross hatching. When I drilled this, I could tell that I was hitting some of that cross hatching from the print, and just be aware of that. Hopefully the people that made this kit make some improvements on the venting. And you can see here I still have some alcohol coming out of these, so it's going to take a while for these to dry out. I did go ahead and I put a hole in the top of her head to give proper venting there too. So just be aware of that. It's no big deal. I can fill these in with some UV resin that I have on hand. You can actually purchase a kit for this UV resin repair kit. It comes with the resin, it comes with the UV light, a stand for the light, and I'll put a link down below. That's available from NY3D Creations, so it's not a problem if you want to get yourself a kit for that where you can fill in these holes. I do show you how to do that in one of my separate videos. I'll put a link down below for that. But that's an update for those. These are definitely going to dry out a little more before I get started on building this kit, but there's the update for that. And there you go. That was a review of Fleet Admiral Ball from Garage Kits US, 1/6 scale in this case, not available as an STL. I put all the details down below in the description on how to get your copy. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.